Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Christoph. I'm a Porter core maintainer. I'm going to post the CNCF code of conduct in the chat. I think like the TLDR on that is like try to not be a jerk and try to be very accepting. Just remember this is a CNCF meeting, so we have to follow that code of conduct. And we don't have an agenda today, but we do have a new contributor. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, all. My name is Shivam. I am from India and currently I am second year student in college. And from the past few months, I have started contributing in CNCF projects. Like past few days, I contributed in like the Armada project also. And I was going through the projects and found Porter very interesting. And currently, I am setting it up on my system for the development so that I can solve the issues and test it on my system.
So TLDR, Stephen, we've been working to kind of debug his system for a little bit. Do you want to like share your screen and we can walk through some of those errors? Because right now he's getting you're getting build errors, right? So like whenever you run Mage build, it's not working.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
Cool. Thank you. I'll let you know when we can see it.
I am following these docs I found on the page.
Okay.
First of all, I followed that inst- I need to have git go docker and mage,
Mm-hmm.
and then I added the go path in my system. The issue I was facing that when I started this command mage build, then there was an issue. Let me share it on my screen. And I think the issue was like I was not having the latest version, so I removed the old ones and I started setting it up again from the
Okay.
latest version of.
Can you go to your terminal and show? Okay, cool. And then go to like your Porter directory.
Yes, I removed it because I was setting it up again.
Okay,
Let me again.
cool. All right. So if you go to here, we can help with this. All right. I'm going to override the quick start guide. So yeah, go to like github.com, get porter/porter. And I put the link in the chat if that helps. There you go. All right, and then just clone it.
Okay, I don't need to fork directly. I can clone it, or do I need to fork first?
You don't need a fork right now. When you get to the point where you're pushing up code, then we can fork and then push your. We'll get there.
Okay.
Done a lot of git foo lately. Perfect. Okay, Mage build in here on that clean repo. Is it gonna work? Let's watch. So I'm hoping now because we deleted that old, there we go. Because we deleted the old one, it should renew and you should be good to go. It's gonna download for a while. Because it's building all of that Porter locally. And then hopefully, I don't know if there's another, let me see. I don't remember if Mage build puts it in your user bin or if you need to run another Mage command to put it in your user bin.
In the previous one, I was getting
Oh, you still there?
the-
Oh, you cut out a little bit.
the
The download is too strong. I think it's messing with your audio.
version.
Oh, it might be, is the download done? I might be able to hear you better now.
Just wait a minute. Like the system is currently not working properly. Just give me
You
one
sound
minute.
better now, by the way. You sound better now. I think it might have been like the sharing screen and the download and the audio was just too much. Maybe I can't be heard.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. We'll give him a little bit to like fix the system, but I'm hoping that Mage build and blowing out that old stuff kind of let it override. He was getting like what was it? It was like one of those like you can't have the semver because if you have like it's 1.25.0, Go gets like really upsetty spaghetti because it doesn't want those like is it a minor version? If it's a .0, is it major or patch version, right? Major,
So
minor,
patch, yeah, major, minor patch.
hmm Which I didn't know when I tried to patch like Go 1.20 to Go 1.21 because there was a CVE and like broke shit. Okay. When you Shivam, when you are back, when and your like system is better, let us know and we're happy to keep debugging. But hopefully that fixes your issue for now. And I did see that the mage build command kind of throws that build, the local build of Porter into your user bin. So you should be able to reference that one that you just built. Hopefully it works because that's the one I've been tweaking with. Okay. Steven, we were talking about talks. It's
Yes.
fun. You're welcome to contribute to the talks talk as well. It's kind of meta.
So
You said we would talk about the operator and then you wanted to talk about it at scale for 6 minutes.
well, I'm just wondering, like, if you're trying to fill a 6-minute talk about Porter, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would say there's the introduction, the quick introduction, like 1 to 2 minutes of what is Porter and why it's useful and what problem it solves, right?
Mhm.
But then it's how do I actually use Porter at scale versus just as something that I, can run on my laptop. And that would be where the operator comes in, I think. And you talk about using Porter to
Mhm.
manage infrastructure for an entire org instead of, just your own infrastructure or something like that, right? Like how would I do this?
What does that look like though? Is it a demo? Like, would you do a demo?
Probably do an operator demo.
What you're gonna get grilled with questions. What would a like good demo look like? Yeah, you can. And then we'll go back and we'll pause this and then we'll go, let's
Yeah.
debug your stuff. So go ahead and screen share and let's see where you're at.
Okay.
I should really close that closet.
When I did Mage build, then it installed
Perfect.
1.28 into my path.
Okay. And so now you should be able to like, can you just type Porter out? Oh, it is still mad. Put into your go path then. Let me see where it's supposed to go. Build all package porter bin. Do you need to source your bash? You shouldn't have to. Steven, you're welcome to cut me
Mhm.
off as I read quickly through the Mage file right now. Local porter agent pushing. What's your hardware? What are you running this on? Are you on a
It's
Mac?
Manjaro.
Okay. I wonder this. We should upstate the quick start. That's what I'm learning. Does our quick start not have like a, what does getting started have? Oh, that's where it is. Okay. Oh yeah, you need to, it should not need that. Correct porter to owner. Sorry, 1 second. Reading quickly.
Mhm.
Can you ls user bin porter? Is that where we put it? Let me look at the script. Like just ls user bin and like look for porter in there and see if it actually like put it in there.
Okay.
Go back up, build porter is called by build that. Build all. Local
I
porter.
changed my Linux few days ago, so I'm having issues in this Manjaro.
Oh, okay. Give me one. I'm just checking to see if in the Mage files there's like a, oh, you know what this should be in?
Can you
I
see my
know.
screen?
It stopped sharing.
Sorry.
This Mage build install. Oh, does that work?
Doesn't Mage build drop it into the local directory path, like into the build directory?
I thought that, but it's not doing, so I thought it would like copy, it would echo it out when it does copy it in, but our contributing guide says to do Mage build install. So, but it's a space. So is it running Mage and then it's running that
It'll
whole
be
build?
Mage build, and then
Yeah.
it'll run install because you can add them together. So Mage build install, it probably installs the local director or the local built porter in your user bin. So run Mage install.
Yeah, go into your porter root and then run Mage install.
It's been way too long since I've actually built local porter.
I know. Well, that's not true because I built 1016 locally, but I just copied. It was like 2 a.m. when I did it, so I wasn't of sound mind or body. Okay. Were you able to copy or go into the porter root and then run Mage install? And I think it's gonna upset your computer. So feel free to stop sharing your screen while that runs so your system doesn't crash. Unless it may.
Mage install should just copy things over. I don't think it's gonna.
Did you look at it in the file?
I haven't looked at it.
I'm gonna look
I'm
at it.
doing two things at once here.
That's fair. I can go look at it 1 second. Get porter home, make dir all. Yeah. It looks like it removes. It's doing a lot, but you're right. It's just deleting stuff and then copying the current build into those dirs. Okay, so now we learned. And we should update the documentation, which is fun. If you get this working, great first PR, but I get if you don't want to do docs as your first PR, no one ever does. It's boring to do. But we need to update the versions in the docs anyways. So I'm gonna put that on my to-do. is update docs. Update, what is this? Install Porter. Porter, latest. Oh, there's two of you now. That's okay. Feel free to, yeah, you can screen share. All right, can you run Mage Install in here? I don't know if Mage is case sensitive. We're gonna see. Okay. Oh. Mixing arms. What's your problem?
Do
I
we
get darker doc.
are we not supporting Porter build on Mac?
No, I'm on an M2 and I run Porter.
M2?
Yeah, I got M2. Is Docker? Well, no, let's see what it's actually calling, which is it's getting Porter homedir, and then it's copying all of the binaries. Hack workaround. Oh, great. I gotta read this. Workaround code signing problem on Apple Silicon. Okay, cool. That's not happening. What's the error? Couldn't copy.
It's looking,
ARM.
it's trying to take the ARM mixin out. Can you do wait, no such file or directory. Why is that? That would be in the top level Porter, homedir. Can you echo Porter home? It's just your yeah, echo $ for all caps Porter _ home. Did you set this like in your and hit enter? Okay, you didn't set that in like your top directory. I was wondering if maybe the Mage file was
Doesn't
being
need to be
confused.
set.
No, I don't think it needs to be. It shouldn't need to be set.
Well, so there is a copy and it's copying, it makes like a mix and stir and it's bin mix-ins. And then we read that mix and stir and then we range over it. Can you RFV the armdir that it's complaining about? It says no such file though. Maybe just arm, like remove one of the arms. File extension. Why is that there? We could also just install the ARM mixin and see if it's happy. Mine's mad about Docker. I wonder if that worked actually though. Porter V. Installing Porter from bin. Did this one happen? Oh, actually Command C, like quit, Command C, and then run Porter now and see if it's sourced properly. It might just not have mix-ins, but it should port. Where's the echo at? Oh, I wonder. Yeah, so it should have been copied properly. It just didn't copy any mix-ins. I don't know why it's mad about that. I will write that down on my to-do list. But yeah, if you type in Porter or like Porter-H, is that a command? It is. Good on us on having an actual good help flag. If you do Porter-H, it should run Porter for real. Did you get that? A space between Porter and the -H. I can also type it in chat. Um, there you go. Ooh, yep. No. Just this. Lowercase because you're case sensitive. That. But there's a space in between Porter and the dash H. Yeah. Oh, there's a space. So do Porter space dash H. Right. Now run that. What the frick? Okay. Let me think. We could just manually copy it. Where is it at? Where is our build install to? Oh, probably under that. We do that, and then it should go under the go /go bin. Steven, do you know where it goes? Build.
Yeah, I think it's inside the folder directory. Do an ls minus la. And then there's a bin. Or maybe, yeah, inside, it should be inside either bin or build. I can't remember. It's been way too long since I've been in this code base and I need to get back to it. Okay, there's the porter. There's the porter. So if you do a dot slash on that porter right there, just do dot slash porter. Yeah, there you go. That's your porter binary that you just built.
Cool.
So
So if you
you can,
copy,
yeah, you can just copy that to your user bin.
I'll try and write the command out. Oh yeah, you got it. There you go. So yeah, just copy that into your user bin. And then you'll have to set permissions to like 755. So no, copy for hang on. Because you're gonna copy the whole repo over if you do that, I think, right? Because you're already in bin order. So if you do that, come on, speedy build. Where's your root? Oh, you're in Porter bin already. Yeah. So okay, you were right. So if you do that and you do bin build Porter to user bin. Okay. So that, and then you would have to like chmod. Yeah, exactly. Why did those work? You don't see it? I don't see it either. You can pipe it into a grep. Oh. We'll pop your ls into a grep. Oh, okay, see. Will you okay, and then if you just check the permissions on that executable and make sure that it's executable. And then if you put it in user bin, do you need to source anything? Or it should be fine, right? As long as you have the permissions right. You only need to source your bash RC if you add something in there. Yes, so you should be fine. Oh, it's not letting you? Oh no, there you go. Didn't yell there. Perfect. Did it yell? Doesn't look like it yelled. Just run just try and run the porter command now. So just run the porter-h thing you had before. Oh. Please work. Hey, there you go. Okay, sorry that was so painful. I'm gonna fix what is wrong with that. I'm gonna make it an issue right now, which is on Mage Install. Where is Mage Install? There we go. There we go. Do that. I'm gonna make an issue about that. Are you all good to go now? And then I'll fix install so that your like development cycle isn't like super messy. But are you okay for now? You could even fix the mage issue if you're good at actually mages go. So you could, if you wanted to do that, that could be a good first issue. Okay. Cool, that issue is made. And if you would like to try it as your first issue, it's actually kind of a small issue, so it might not be too bad. You can go ahead and take a stab at it. But you don't have to. I can get to it probably this weekend. Cool. Let's see. We have 34 minutes yet left. Stephen, do you want to keep talking about the operator at scale, or do you have any issues or things you want to work on or questions?
I don't have anything right now. I'm thinking about like what it would look like for a KubeCon presentation, and it feels like if it's a KubeCon presentation, we got to be talking about the operator, right?
Mhm.
And so, what does that look like?
I mean, when you say like operator at scale, I think of like one of those like console used to do like, here's console deployed on like 10,000 nodes. And so like that, but like also cloud costs. So that would be expensive, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think like I don't know. How much would it be to deploy the operator on 10,000 nodes? How much is 10,000 nodes is a better question. Is that expensive?
I'm sure it wouldn't be super cheap.
Dang.
But what does that, I feel like that's almost hand wavy, because if you can deploy it on one node, you can deploy it on 10,000, right? Like that's just Kubernetes underpinnings at that point.
That's fair. So what would be impressive? Like what's like a good way to show the capability that like looks cool? Or not cool, but I guess like just like I don't know, like something you would talk about afterwards, right? What about upgrades? Is that cool?
Well, again, like what is it core Porter functionality that you're looking to talk about, right? Like, and maybe that's what it is you talk more about what Porter does and talk about its feature sets and dive into how you can use Porter for managing infrastructure. And then as a like a side note at the end, be like, oh, and by the way, you can do all this asterisk on Kubernetes natively using the operator.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of tie it all in.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be really cool, depending on where dependencies are, to show like a full dependency workflow set up. Did I saw that there was a dependency PR that just came through. Does that enable anything net new with dependencies,
Yeah.
or is that
Shared
what?
dependencies is live. I mean, I would love to have real user testing on that. Because my own code scares me. But yeah, shared dependencies is enabled, and we should have like loose SBOM by KubeCon. And that's where we kind of get into like, should we talk about dependent? Like, is that like a big thing that like, because they reached out and they were like, if you have like a big feature, yeah, I can help you with that. Here. So with this issue, I think the steps that you can follow to fix it, as if you see that line, if you click, it's somewhere around here, where it's going through the reader. So what I would do, here are my troubleshooting steps, is I would echo out mix and stir and mix and dir items. And I would see where it's getting those, because what's happening is it's looking for something and it's not there locally on your machine. And maybe we do like I'm reading really quick. I don't think we should remove all, because that would be really gross. But if file name text missing, if is not dir, continue. Yeah, I think what I would do first is basically go over and see where it's getting this like weird content that like locally on your machine, you don't have this like mix in / arm, but somewhere inside of there, it's being populated. So just put like echoes every line and see where like that's coming out. And then from there, you'll be able to go like, oh, we're setting this variable that like is reading this like this where these like fake mix-ins are. It might actually even be lower. It might be on like line 682 where we're doing this removal to kind of get around like some like Mac 1 stuff. I might even just recommend like seeing if you like comment out those two lines, 682 and 683, if it works. But also I would just recommend like first echoing through everything and then trying commenting out those lines, seeing like where exactly those variables are being set, where it's finding things that aren't really on your machine. Does that make sense? And I can comment this on the issue as well, so that you can have like debug the steps. Go ahead.
Yes, please. If you can give me the steps in the comment, then it will be like easy for me.
Perfect. I will do that. Yeah. I will give you some like troubleshooting debugging steps. Cool.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for contributing and doing all this. I appreciate it. Shit, what were we talking about? We were talking about, oh, yes. Would SBOM and dependencies, shared dependencies, be big enough features to want PR? Or is it not major enough?
Say that again.
So like KubeCon is offering like to like hook us up with like news channels if we have like a major like release or like feature release. Do you think shared dependencies and SBOMs count as major? It's not dependencies v2, it's just shared dependencies.
For shared dependencies.
And
I
so
definitely
like to
think
me,
SBOM seems to be something that people want and need across the industry,
okay.
right? SBOM is the key buzzword right now for sure.
I have like a great idea for the talk, but I don't know if I'm gonna have it done by time. But it's the whole like I sent a talk about this, but it was that talk that goes like you sign in memory where the kernel is on the SBOM, and so you get like from kernel to like your application level, like an SBOM generated. And that seems to be pretty much like the hype now. But it's so if you like just deploy infrastructure with Terraform, wonder if you can have SBOMs rely on SBOMs. But maybe that gets ugly, but
An SBOM of SBOMs.
yeah, yeah, like we're gonna implement SBOM dependencies, and like it's just gonna get like into this like turtles all the way down. Like, are you okay kind of thing? That sounds crazy, but I'm gonna write it down anyways. Okay. Do you think between now and March 22nd that update in the operator could get done? Or is that too short? I don't really know what needs done for it.
I'm not sure. We should think on what that looks like, because
Okay.
I mean, from an operator's perspective, it's not that much logic to determine whether we're doing a delete or an uninstall or an update, right? So the difference is we'll see a new revision come through, and the operator, the reconcile loop, will see that new revision come through. And right now, I think there's a uninstalled is true is the feature that's set on the CRD, and when it sees uninstalled true, I'll have to look at the logic again, but it kicks off a new agent action of uninstall, like Porter uninstall, right?
Mhm.
So the logic could be in the reconcile loop, like if the installation exists, which we already checked for, if it installed, then new revision and uninstalled is not set, right? Like there's just some change came through on this resource that already exists, and it wasn't a request for an uninstallation or an uninstall. Then let's just run Porter upgrade instead of, because that's the options, right? Like there's not a lot in the state machine that you can do. It's install, upgrade, uninstall. And you can't install an installation that's already installed. If the installation's already installed, the only thing you can do is either upgrade or uninstall. So it's just a little bit of
Do we never delete in the operator? I know that this has been a hot topic, and like
that's a different thing, right?
Okay.
We uninstall, we do delete now. Before we weren't deleting, but I agree that like we need to figure out what that behavior is. I want to look at some of the other, because there's other infrastructure management operators out there. I can't think of there's one from Argo, actually. I can't think of it right now. There's another one out there too that it's like running ARM resources, Azure RM stuff, but from Kubernetes instead of like Terraform. But you can manage your Azure cloud resources as CRDs inside your cluster now too. And I'll have to look at what that behavior is when we do that.
Okay. Yeah. My only like concern, and I know that this is like that's like a month and a half. My only concern is that there isn't enough time, but I'd love to fix like I remember you saying there was like an issue with uninstall in the operator right now. And there was like a couple of other like weird like things going on. And so maybe setting up like an operator call with you and Brian and Troy and seeing if we can kind of like break down some of those issues so that we can highlight the operator at KubeCon a little bit more and like hype it up and like have like its first like, oh, it's like 101. Like that's our major release, is that like we fixed like most of the bugs, or at least like an amount of the bugs where it's like yes, I feel comfortable of like you use this and you get all of the like base features of Porter. I think that would be really good. So let's plan. I will throw it in like a small group chat. And I will put it in the notes too. Meeting. Okay. And then I'll work on SBOM work. I think that'd be really great to highlight. And then through that meeting, we'll figure out that if we can get that workload done, then we can sign up to kind of like talk about it at KubeCon and kind of generate a lot more hype. Because if we can get on like Tech Stack or News Crunch or whatever those websites are, I think that'd be really great. It'd really, really help. Okay. What else? Does anyone else have comments? Oh, and yes, I would say in the Porter channel and Slack is where you can discuss any features you want to implement. And then through those discussions, we can figure out if we should like make an issue and start to track it in GitHub. But does anyone else at this time have any more questions, comments, concerns? I'm happy to give 10 minutes back. Okay. Well, thank you both for coming. I will see you all in 2 weeks, probably sooner than that, because we're going to host the operator meeting. So I'll ping everyone on Slack.
Definitely sync up.
Yeah, what day is it? It's Thursday?
It is Thursday today.
Oh, yes, let's see which question is. I think I was looking that we can. Sure. I mean, if you would like to write that up and like kind of like what I would like to see from that is a good where I should start is like an issue that kind of goes through like, here's what our errors look like now. And here's like the packages we're using. I think we're using standard lib or like go error. I haven't looked. And what I'd like to do actually, if we were going to rework error handling, is to start using context more consistently throughout our package, so that basically we'll have like our own like internal errors package. I can show like I implemented this in Boundary at HashiCorp, so I have like a specific way that I'm used to seeing it. But if you have your own kind of like errors and like OTel and like, you know, that kind of package, and you have a context going through your entire code base, you can now see where those failures are through each package and like every step along the way, kind of like leaving a trail. But also you can just rip out what?
We do have OTel fully implemented throughout. So like the stack trace that you get back from Jaeger and Porter will tell you exactly where the errors occurred.
I didn't know that. I've always seen, I think the tracing logic is not in certain areas. Does that make sense? Like in like the dependencies package that I've been like ripping apart, I was like, I need to go back through here and add like a lot of context so that I don't have to go where in the build process is this failing. So like it could be, but like you're right, I have seen it like in places. So I think it just needs some zhuzhing. But if you would like to write up kind of like, even like if it's an IM or like a message into the Porter channel of like, here's exactly kind of like my rough idea. Like, here's what errors look like now. Here's what they'd look like afterwards. Here's what the tools I would use to implement this. I'm totally for that. And here's the things I would replace. Like, and it doesn't have to be super like fleshed out. We'll do that through just talking over it. Does that sound good? And like kind of what you were thinking? Cool. And if there's any problems, just let us know. Like we're happy to work through things. And I'm happy to see what you come up with. It sounds really exciting. Cool. I will shoot for operator meeting ASAP, but that's all dependent on everyone's availability. And by ASAP, I mean, look at tomorrow. But I would like to do it tomorrow. You don't want to do tomorrow?
I'm gonna have to be doing some interviews tomorrow.
All right.
I know. Let's sync up offline
Monday?
on what that looks like.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. We will create a thread. Uh, we try to be. I always say we're a close knit group. But that just means we're pretty small. But we're durable.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, please feel free to ask any questions. Also, like if I don't respond, feel free to like ping me. Sometimes I read things and then Stephen can attest, I'll just forget. It's like always 50 things. But also feel free to like just throw it in general and then like the other maintainers can see it and like kind of chip in too. But cool. All right, y'all. I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Enjoy your weekend. And thanks for showing up.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye bye.